Is free speech being eroded in New Zealand? Is there a campaign to limit what people say about all the various issues that face this country, from race relations to politics to global warming to anything controversial, or in fact any issue at all in this country? Yes, there is, and it is destroying the fabric of our society. Some examples. First, the Maori sovereignty movement and its attempts to gain control over all aspects of the governance of this country. If anybody at all, from Don Brash onwards, say anything that brings this campaign into real focus, then they are labelled as racist. This to shut them down. How can a person be racist if it is their wish that everybody in this country be treated exactly the same under the law? Please explain that. Massey University, like all universities, is supposed to be a bastion of free speech and should want to encourage vital discussion of all views and so get to the truth. This was not displayed when they deplatformed Don Brash for what seemed to be the views of the Vice-Chancellor, as she did not agree with his views, those that are expressed in the Hobson's Choice blog, even though this was not the subject of his speech. The official reason given for the cancellation was a possible threat to the safety of attendees. Was there a real threat? Only the university can answer that. What should have happened, though, is that there should have been increased security to protect those attending. I may not agree with what you were saying, but I will defend your right to say it. I attended a speech given by Don Brash, and it was considered necessary by the organisers to employ a number of security staff just to protect him and the people who attended to hear his views. It is absolutely ridiculous to have to go to such lengths just to enable one to hear another's views on any subject. What is necessary is the protection of the right to express one's views, even if those views are contrary to the views of others and the authorities. Another of the major issues at the moment is the campaign to force global warming policies onto New Zealanders, without any real indisputable evidence that such policies are desirable or indeed necessary. In the local mainstream media, we are forced to listen to only one side of the argument, that man and his emissions of so-called greenhouse gases are causing runaway global warming. Never, or at least hardly ever, do we see or hear the alternate view, that most, if not all, the recent increase in temperature of the planet is in fact a natural occurrence, and that man has little or no control over the climate at all. Are the editors or the producers of these news outlets being independent, or are they following the party line and doing what they are told? The scam that is global warming is a policy of the left, and they are using all the tricks in the book to have their views and none other put in the public domain. Once again, the restrictions on free speech are not in any way helping our democracy. In August 2018, Stefan Molyneux and Lauren Sutherland were due to speak at an Auckland City Council controlled venue. These speakers are considered by some as alt-right. Their views are known around the world, and yes, they are well to the right of the political spectrum. However, in a free and democratic society, they have the right to hold those views and the right to expound them. You may not like them, and I don't like some of their extreme sentiments, but I do value the freedoms that enable these views to be discussed. The Auckland City Council bowed to pressure and cancelled the hire of the venue where the two were due to speak. Once again, their right to speak and be heard should have been protected, and the council not bow down to the threats of violence. These cases that I have outlined are just three of the many where free speech has been restricted. Yes, I agree that there must be some restriction on what one says. The provoking of violence, the outright degradation of someone on pure racial grounds, the poking of fun at someone's disability are all cases where there must be some form of restriction. However, the expounding of genuine views that do not infringe on the restrictions already outlined, or others of a similar nature, need to be able to be aired, and if you do not agree, then argue your case. Should you have a strong enough case, then you may be able to achieve the result you are looking for. Shutting someone down without hearing them is not the way to go. That is the rule of the strongest, and not the rule of the best ideas. There is one thing that really scares me at present. The current Justice Minister and the Labour government is wanting to start up a state-run organisation that will control the dissemination of opinion and evidence relating to the two referenda that are being run alongside the next general election, those on euthanasia and cannabis. Does this mean that we will only be able to see his views or those that have been approved by the government? Only one side being published is not good for true democracy. Free speech and a vigilant press are totally necessary for any real democracy to properly exist. Why do you think dictators control their news media? They only want their views expressed. New Zealand and other similar countries need always to be aware of the creeping control of views that do not fit with the ruling mantra. Democracy will not survive if you are not awake. I may not agree with your views, but I do agree that you have the right to express them. You do not have the right not to be offended, as that is totally within your control. Remember, there is always an off button, and you don't have to attend. Wake up, New Zealand, and protect your democracy. Well, that is the end of this video. If you would like to comment, both positive and negative, feel free. It is good to have a two-way conversation. Please hit the like or even the dislike button. Any comments will give me an idea for future commentary. Please share this video with your friends and family, and if you wish to subscribe to find out when I upload new videos, use the appropriate buttons. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.